Hello guys, and welcome here to the ProDota Cup series by Hitbox TV. We are in the last match of the day for the SEA region, and also the second one, and also the last match of this best of two between 458 Production and the Mongolz. We've already seen match number one where the Mongolz completely took it. I mean, they just destroyed what 458 could do. They had perhaps a worse draft from the objective point of view, but they executed much better. And thus, just won the game, honestly, against 458, using the Spectre very well, and an Invoker player that was fantastic for them. So as I expected, the Mongolz is one of the better teams within this SEA Cup. Now we're in game number 2, seeing if 458 can actually bring it back with and get the tie in this best of 2, or if the Mongolz will just get 2-0 and follow the same pattern that everyone else in this tournament has, which is getting 2-0s or nothing. Right. That said, my name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today. Hope you enjoy the cast. If not, feel free to tell me why. And let's get right into the draft. Darkseer, Earth Spirit, Warlock, Lifestealer, and Storm Spirit picked up by 458. The Mongolz, Crystal Maiden, Juggernaut, Nyx Assassin, Monkey King, and now their mid-hero, which should probably be against the Storm. I'm really liking the OD, honestly. But the OD plus Crystal Maiden seems like an overkill in terms of mana, so it's actually kind of a waste of the aura. But OD is quite good. You could also go for Queen of Pain for a classic, but she's already banned. The Shadow Fiend and whatnot is banned. The Death Prophet. Okay, I wasn't thinking about the Death Prophet, but not bad. The OD still seems like a good option, but not against the Lifestealer as much, and the Darkseer could have been really annoying. And again, the aura thing. So the Death Prophet fills those gaps a bit better. Has the silence against the Storm Spirit, which is good. Does not get. It's actually one of the few heroes that can withstand an Earth Spirit gank easily. Brings a bit of pushing power to the team, and can utilize that Crystal Maiden aura so well in the early game, so you can constantly spam those Crypt Swarms and those Spirit Siphons to make sure that the Storm can't get any farm. And it's actually one of the worst heroes to fight against if you're the Storm, because you actually can't kill her easily. And if you do go against something like Crystal Maiden or Monkey King, because you feel really cocky and you think, I can beat them, she can silence you and punish your aggression easily. So Mongolz this time actually better draft. 458 will be the guys that are going to be pushing or trying out the Earth Spirit this time, and they do have. I mean, it's not like Mongolz is a bad draft. This time it's not as there's not such a huge disparity as last time. Both are pretty consistent drafts. On one hand, you have the Lifestealer plus Earth Spirit plus Storm Spirit combo, very powerful. The Earth Spirit joining into that draft as well to ensure that the Earth Spirit can have a bit of an easier lane, though not necessarily against the Death Prophet. And on the other hand, you have the Death Prophet plus Juggernaut, Crystal Maiden. So you want early game domination, easy lanes, and then, well, winning from there, right? So you're up against a Darkseer, easily killed by this combo. Whereas Nyx Assassin won't be easily killed by the combination of Lifestealer Warlock. So 458 is looking much more to farm in the early game, get consistent lanes with the Darkseer, Lifestealer, and the Warlock, and gank that mid lane consistently and primordially with the Earth Spirit, whereas the guys from Mongolz are just looking for the early game aggression completely. You know, utilizing that Crystal Maiden pick pretty well, the Monkey King pick pretty well. A Monkey King can even go for a Jingle Mastery if he believes that he can actually get that. Trying to get a curry. That's so unfortunate. You have to walk, otherwise you're not gonna get the curry. No. Yeah, it is. Finally got the curry. You want the curry because it gives you extra movement speed. That's a 350 average, rather than 300 in the early game, so it's actually quite fast. It's like getting free boots. But yeah, anyway, the guys from 458 have to do less, I suppose, than Mongolz. Mongolz are looking much more for the aggression, but we already saw last game that they excel at playing those kind of drafts. That said, let's present the teams real quick before they start hitting each other. My name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today, and let's see what the teams. Oh, okay, level 1 Jingle Master. I really like that actually. Let's see what the teams have for us today. We have on the Radiant side the guys from Mongolz. It's gonna be Ariuka as the Crystal Maiden in the support position. In the mid lane, it's R as the Death Prophet. In the offlane, Masquerade will be playing the Nyx Assassin. The second support is going to be Proxy on the Monkey King, and finally, as the carry, Sankey playing the Juggernaut this time around. Whereas for 458 Production, the Vietnamese team, it's Tengu on the Darkseer. In the mid lane, it's 458 playing the Storm Spirit. As the carry, we have LFT. Oh wow, really? They swapped around? Okay. We're going to call him LFT because otherwise the other guy is already Tengu, so we can't have two Tengus. So LFT on the Lifestealer. Here as the second support is the pushing as the Earth Spirit, and finally the last support, Korgil on that Warlock. Interesting that they swap positions. Korgil as the support now, and carry LFT. I've always seen LFT played as the support, so I don't know if this is like a last minute change or because he specifically is really good with Lifestealer. That's uncertain. Oh, Tango is actually being harassed considerably. No Surge yet, by the way. So this could be an easy kill. No Poison Orb though onto this Monkey King. They can't stop this TP from happening. Frostbite 1 more second. That TP just in his face. Ariuka can't not stop him from doing it, which is unfortunate. The Monkey King should have gone for Poison Orb and they should have been able to kill him a bit sooner, but he said go for the Poor Man's Shield. I don't entirely love the Poor Man's Shield against a Darkseer. I don't think it's necessary as much, though you can utilize the jungle a bit more. Really big fan of the Poison Orb on the Monkey King, because early on you could actually get a kill on the Darkseer if he's not careful, or even on this Earth Spirit. You can see the Earth Spirit is actually going to be joining this bottom lane, because the combo of Darkseer Earth Spirit is very powerful. But with the initiation they have against a Juggernaut is not that high, because he can dispel the Rolling Boulder easily, and they can also counterattack. So this is more of a dual offlane that's not meant to get kills, more just meant to put pressure on the carry, while the Lifestealer won't receive any pressure because he's going to do fine against a Nyx Assassin. And frankly, a Lifestealer or an Nyx Assassin has a really hard time against a Lifestealer in lane because of that rage. You can't really Spike Carpus, and that's the hard part. You really want to save Spike Carpus for a good stun, but not against a Lifestealer. You just want to save it for a stun against him. No, Storm, what are you doing? You shouldn't have. Okay, no, the second Crypt Storm didn't want to follow this through too much. Actually maxing Spirit Siphon over Crypt Storm, which is good if you are hoping for, or if you think that they're going to dominate or bring their Earth Spirit to this lane and really screw you over. Otherwise, maxing Crypt Storm would definitely be advised, because of the lower cooldown you can spam it more. However, the Spirit Siphon's going to get you much more sustain. There's no Spirit Siphon now, though. They missed a Rolling Boulder. They hit him with a Boulder Smash. Spirit Siphon in 3 seconds, and no time for it. The Storm will get that first blood by playing just a bit more aggressively than the Death Prophet and utilizing that Earth Spirit combo well. Like I said, Earth Spirit can really only gank that mid lane in this game, and he's going to be doing that pretty much the whole game against this Death Prophet. And if she doesn't have Spirit Siphon charges, then it's an easy kill. And frankly, that's the issue here. The Spirit Siphon does not necessarily, or does not, the more levels you get in Spirit Siphon, the cooldown stays the same regardless. So it's more of a damage, a healing, etc., that you're getting out of it. Which means that maxing it early on is not really going to give you much benefit as Crypt Storm, hence the idea. And even the question here as well, which is, do you want to get an early level of silence? Probably not against the Storm. Even though it seems counterintuitive, you want to take advantage of this bad early game that the Storm has by maxing Crypt Storm and Siphon Soul or Spirit Siphon as much as, or as soon as you can. And then you go for a level of silence once you're like level 7, level 8, and you can get that kill. Oh, Nyx Assassin actually dying in the top lane to the combination of the Lifestealer plus the Warlock. Lifestealer, like I said, is very good against Nyx Assassin. Oh, they also block punching in this bottom lane with a Jinko Mastery. Now the Poison Orb is available onto this Monkey King. Wants to get the ultimate hit, and he will do so with a Boundless Strike. I meant to say last hit, but ultimate sounded much better. With that, getting the Earth Spirit to die in this bottom lane and giving a lot more space to the Juggernaut, which is good. And that also allows the Crystal Main to rotate a bit, even though the Storm does come with a Haste Rune and boots as well. It's going to be hard to gank this Death Prophet. Not the best of plays here. In fact, the Storm is going to die thanks to that Boulder Smash. Did not help him at all. And now Spirit Siphon is hurting Punching a lot. In comes Proxy, who wants to join into the fray, but this is a really risky play to go on. So, Proxy, what are you doing? Actually just going to find him. Look at that man fighting him. He knows he has Poor Man's Shield, so he can actually withstand a huge amount of pain, but physical damage, sorry. But, of course, you don't want to play stupidly either in the early game. There's a limit to how aggressive you want to play, so going under that tower is okay to get 1 or 2 hits, but there, you're done. You know, you don't want to be caught between the Rolling Boulder and the tower, being super slowed down and the tower just mowing you down. Regardless, I like the build for the Death Prophet, actually. Looking at this a bit, we actually see 2 no talismans. I really like that. Going for full stats in the early game just to dominate the lane. You know, in the top lane, Tengu. They have a Frostbite still, so they're waiting for that Surge to come out. Frostbite there. The Surge completely wasted as Proxy get those 2 extra hits from Jinko Mastery. Is able to get that kill. Masquerade, though, in the top lane is suffering a lot of damage on the Shadow Ward and Lifestealer. He's going to survive. No Spike Carpus available. And that... Those 2 mangoes plus the regional and Nyxes are good, but not against a Shadow Ward that's already level 2. That level 2 is actually key for the Warlock. Because level 1 Shadow Ward, if considering the Nyx Assassin, should have a 6 HP region, I believe, with the 2 mangoes. Let's see. Yeah, 6 HP regen. Yeah, okay. So I know my Nyx. But the Warlock here only deals 7 damage, plus, you know, considering its magical damage, it barely deals any damage to the Nyx Assassin, right? However, once it's 25, that becomes 17, and that's just a much more considerable increase in terms of damage than before. Considering the regen really output, you know, it's the regen kind of... essentially, how I made my calculation there was regen, or HP removal minus regen. But here you see the power of the Life Stealer, right? He can always rage, and so Nyx Assassin can't play too aggressively, or even use the Impales, because you usually can rage before the Impale comes at you. Oh, what are you doing, Darkseer? That range is deceptive, but Proxy is just being tied around. That was unfortunate. Proxy really got tricked and debated there by the Darkseer, who knew he could survive enough hits, and just eventually gets that kill. So that's a lot of recovery goal for the Darkseer. Good job there. Well, the reason why he's so good, and apart from the fact that he can really prevent that Spike Corpus, is again the Impale. You really can't do anything against that. And the Open Wounds is one of the few stuns in the game, or few disables in the game, that don't actually deal damage, meaning that the Nyx Assassin can't really reflect that with Spike Corpus. So he can use Open Wounds if he wants to, and then rage up and then kill you, or simply if you're running away and he wants to harass you a bit, use Open Wounds and you're set. On this bottom lane, we see the Storm, who just got a kill against the Monkey King, and he's looking for more, but... Sorry, R is looking for a revenge, sorry, as they catch out this Storm Spirit. They have an Omnislash available, and that Phase Boots is going to help him. Oh, he really wants to go for it. The Omnislash so close, however, going there would be a huge mistake, because he would just die. No TP on the Juggernaut either, so in the end, Sanka decides to just back out. Just was the wise choice completely. As in the bottom lane, the guys from 4-5-8 decided to put a bit of pressure in this lane just based on the Iron Shells. And we see Ariuka staying near the enemy bounty room, probably to steal it, and using the Frostbite to get some of the enemy creeps as well. However, during that whole ordeal, R actually decided to come back and farm, and R is beating the Storm considerably in terms of farm, but the Storm is already about to get that Ball Lightning as well. Oh, really? Okay. I wasn't thinking that he would stay there that long, but it turns out he did. Sorry about that, not the best cameraman in the world. Usually I try to mute my microphone, but the button doesn't always work. Apologies for the coughing. Right, Warlock trying to find Proxy here. Level 4, Monkey King is level 4. Warlock, honestly, it's surprising that he's so scared of it, but he actually knows there could be any rotation from a Storm at any second. And the Earth Spirit similarly, right? So they can just come in with a Rolling Boulder, Ball Lightning, and you're screwed. So it's good to play a bit more defensively right now, knowing that the early game is not going that beneficial for you in terms of kills, but it is going beneficial for you in terms of lane domination. Now, in the mid lane, R is actually surviving quite a lot thanks to the Spirit Siphon, and now they want to go into the Storm. They want to root him, but the Rolling Boulder will not come in time. It's just actually a Rolling Boulder to get him closer to the team fight. They do catch him with a root though. Oh, the Spike Corpus stuns him, and they don't even need the Impale to finish off Punch In, as the Crypt Swarm will just end its life. And with that, R will be getting another kill onto the Earth Spirits. With this, the tower will also be going down. The tier 1 will be going down, thanks to that beautiful exorcism. And the only thing the Storm can do is watch as his precious little tower goes down, because, I mean, he has no mana or to initiate. It's also against Death Prophet in his ultimate, and even having the Juggernaut that joined into this lane. Without a Mango, Mango? Yeah, without a Mango, mind you, which is bad for Sunkit, because he can't really use Omnislash just yet, but he should be able to regen a lot thanks to the Arcane Aura. We want the top lane, by the way. Nyx Assassin just gives up his life again. Playing a bit too aggressively, maybe just to create some space so they could take the mid-tier 1 tower, but it does seem like Nyx Assassin does not understand how bad this matchup is for him against a Life Stealer in general. The Warlock is also pretty annoying if you're Nyx Assassin, because he has a surprising amount of HP for an intelligence hero and as support, and he also has healing, but that is actually not entirely the case, right? So he has the large amount of intelligence, large amount of HP, the healing as well from the Shadow Ward, and the Fatal Bonds, which can really screw you over if you're Nyx Assassin. You want to go into one of those suicidal plays. Fatal Bonds actually one of the worst spells against you. And careful, because LFT could be initiated upon any second. They do see the courier though. Push. Oh, they did not know. No, they do know the Nyx Assassin is there. That is sentry just right, but the Impale catches 2. However, does not stop the Life Stealer, and that Nyx Assassin is good as dead. The Rolling Boulder, which will miss, and Punch In will be punished for this. One last hit from the tower will end his life, as R is being stuck in the upheaval. Now with the Electric Vortex, making sure that he can't run away from that constant slow. And the guys at 4-5-8 will take another kill onto this Death Prophet, and should be able to take the tower now. As LFT starts hitting it slowly together with the help of Tengu and 458. Now it's actually the opposite of what the enemy team did. So before we saw the Juggernaut kind of rotating mid to take the tower, now these guys are rotating the mid player to take the top tower. And it's not bad because it gives a lot of farm to the life stealer anyway. Meanwhile, they're doing we trade here in the bottom lane. Sanke helping out. Oh, that's a waste of a Blade Fury actually. You can't Blade Fury TP right now, but he should be able to take the tower regardless. Sanke with the hits, honestly. And with that, they get an extra bit of gold. In terms of net worth, I think he is... Yeah, he's beating the life stealer, but not by much. So it's actually a really, really even game. Only a 500 net worth difference between both teams. If you start looking at net worth, you'll see that the Death Prophet actually is beating the Storm by 400. And the Juggernaut beating the life stealer by 300. So no big deal there. He tends to go plus 5 all stats. That's not bad. It's like having 5 extra branches in your inventory. So it's actually a really good start, especially against a Storm Spirit. Or sorry, against a Death Prophet that's gonna be extra tanky, and you want to be able to, you know, armor toggle her safely, have the extra armor against physical damage, etc., etc. Similarly with the Juggernaut. Being able to survive that Omnislash is very important because Life Stealer doesn't really like going for Manta style, so there's no way of actually preventing, or Ghost Scepter, of course. So there's no real way of preventing Omnislash damage. And Tengu eats Omnislash as a whole, but Korgil is actually a target of aggression. Here they go onto the Monkey King with the Rock as well. The open wounds to stop his movement, and Proxy will go down. The Impale does catch out the Warlock, but he's really tanky here. The Freezing Field don't even comes out to finish him off. The TP will come from the Crystal Maiden, and there it is. The guys from 458 getting a triple kill against Mongolz. Unable to... I mean, that was a really weird team fight, but it was a really weird team fight by Mongolz because they sacrificed a lot just to get the Warlock, including a Freezing Field, allowing them to just, you know, lose their supports completely. And... oh, Monkey King coming in. There's a stun, the Silence as well. They don't want to stack those things together. Do they have enough damage to finish him in time? They will. Proxy getting that Jingu Mastery just in time for the one hit that will finish off the Storm's life. And it's only level 1 Jingu Mastery, but that bonus damage level 1 is ridiculous already. It's 75. And with that, they get the kill on the Storm, and they recover a bit from their last engagement, which wasn't so good, especially because they lost the Juggernaut. And Korgil, careful. Okay, suffering from the Blade Fury, but the Shadow Word will healing up pretty decently. There's no Omnislash available, but 2 hits from the Juggernaut should kill him. The Magic Stick will actually save this Warlock's life. That plus the Shadow Word, obviously. And in the end, they're unable to get that kill on the enemy support, so they'll have to suffer the Rock again. Actually, no, it's not. It's on cooldown, so no big deal. And that's a tier 2. It's going to be going down for the guys at the Mongolz. Masquerade himself, just looking for some kills in the enemy jungle. Oh, careful, push in. They have a Life Stealer inside him, so he's coming with a bomb. The Rolling Boulder, nope, not gonna attack the Crystal Main just yet. Yeah, there it is. The bombs are coming out though. Push in, he just carried the Life Stealer to his doom, as Push in will go down himself. Adiuka will now be selected as target of aggression by LFT, but Adiuka is surviving for quite a long time. Now the Monkey King comes with his ultimate and doesn't die just yet. They get a stun into the Storm Spirit, and they're fighting in the middle of that Jingu Mastery. They don't want to fight in, sorry, in the Wukong's command, and that's a very dangerous place to fight as the Impale comes in, catches the Life Stealer. They did lose the Juggernaut, but it was worth it as they killed the enemy carrier themselves. Korgil is now being selected by R as his next victim, and the only thing left here is the Darkseer, who's been Yule Scepter up, lost his Surge. Oh, sorry, actually can't use the Surge because he's been stunned again, and the Spirit Siphon plus that useful use of the Boundless Strike will kill him off. Wow, that Wukong's command completely destroyed 458. They fought in it for a long time. Proxy walked around the circle in a very interesting fashion. Very good fashion, honestly, because it allowed him to kind of survive the whole team fight because of the whole Wukong's command. And they dealt a ridiculous amount of damage to a hero like Life Stealer who has very low armor. Now, Masquerade could be finding Push in here. He does have a Vendetta and an Impale, and that's actually enough. No, it's not enough damage, but it's a considerable amount. I mean, Nexus Assassin is level 9 comparing to level 7 Earth Spirit. You even have the help of the Death Prophet if she was around. Just gonna let him go though. That Yule Scepter of Death Prophet, it's almost the guaranteed item at this point. That Spirit Siphon is not gonna do anything really, but and what they're really missing here for the Death Prophet would be a Green Core. Just to start really dishing out damage and constantly putting out those Crypt Swarmers, etc., etc. Careful, Korgil. Almost does the Masquerade. Masquerade has to TP away. There's Electric Vortex, not available, so they have to keep hitting him with auto attacks, which are not going to work to get the kill on Nyx Assassin. Smartly just TPs away. Look at the carry matchup. The Juggernaut is trying to build up that Manta-style Diffusal Blade. The Lifestealer went for Midas instead, so that's why he's been so weak in team fights. The Juggernaut has much more relevance early on because the Midas is just not that great for a Lifestealer. You really want to go for that Armlet first if possible. However, that means that later on in the game, the Lifestealer will start having a much more considerable impact and a much bigger farm than the Juggernaut, who can usually not outfarm a Lifestealer to begin with. Because he has nice BAT and everything, but he doesn't have too many skills to farm. Only the Blade Fury, and frankly, Lifestealer has a pretty nice way of farming the jungle anyway. So usually you're kind of equal. With the Midas, the Lifestealer does get the upper hand completely, especially because he didn't go for Blade Fury. Juggernaut, well, obviously. Now, it seems like they want an issue with a Storm Bomb. That's fine, but the question is again, the Storm goes in the middle of that. What happens to your Storm if he gets silenced? Even worse, what if he gets rooted? What are you going to do with the Storm then? Yeah, actually, absolutely nothing. You can't do absolutely anything. So with that, they're going to have a smoke gank by the guys in Mongolz. Masquerade already in leading this charge with the Impale. Could find the Earth Spare any second. Probably not gonna though, because it seems like it's gonna be the Lifestealer who's leading. The Boundless Strike catches him out. Now the Freezing Field to kill him in seconds. The Almost hasn't even been committed to this Lifestealer. That wasn't necessary. And now the counter initiation comes to the enemy team. The Storm is ready to attack, but the Wukong's command plus the Exorcism is starting to deal a considerable amount of physical damage to the enemy team. That rock barely dealt anything as Pushen is about to die just to those ghosts. The ghosts don't chase him long enough, and they want to find that Wukong's command, but they only lost the Crystal Maiden and are happy to just retreat, use the Exorcism to maybe take this tower down bottom. That would be the ideal situation. After all, it is an Exorcism. You know, you don't want to waste that ultimate. In comes the Monkey King, has Boundless Strike if he wants to get that farm. He does not want to get that farm. I like that, okay. Not using Boundless Strike stupidly, just letting him respect their farm. Nyx decided to use the Vendetta just on a catapult. That was pathetic. And with the Exorcism gone, they can't really push this tower as easily. Tango could still be stunned out, though. The Spike Carpus catches him out. Beautiful Impale on the two, including the Storm. Now the Boundless Strike. They put the Storm down, and he can't move because he's been stun locked forever. Now they want to go into Masquerade, though, as a revenge goal, and they might be able to kill the Nyx Assassin. That Urn of Shadows will just finish him off in the end. However, the Storm trying to catch out the Monkey King before... No, I don't know who that was before he TP'd. R does go down, and the Juggernaut before he TP'd. R does go down though in this middle lane. Even with a Solar Crest, he was just wasn't able to do too much. That's the issue with the Solar Crest. It's just not that great of an item on a carry, but oh well, that's beyond the point. You would like to have enough support. However, losing 2 for losing a Storm and forcing a buyback, not too bad honestly. 4-5-8. Using that buyback there was quite bad because that's going to delay his Bloodstone considerably if you think about it. That is a Bloodstone. I mean, he didn't even go for Arcane Boots, so he went for Treads directly. Obviously, you don't need Arcane Boots in Storm. It's more the idea that you can turn that into Bloodstone later. Okay, this Darkseer is about to die. Masquerade though being caught out. We need some Freezing Field. The Freezing Field will kill off the Darkseer, and the Storm has no way of canceling it. He's actually going down to the Crystal Maiden. She is going to get a double kill with those Freezing Field hail. Wow, Ariuka not only being pretty lucky with those crystals and where they were falling, but in addition just being ballsy as hell, knowing where the Electric Vortex was coming out and punishing that only stun that you have on the Storm with a great channeling spell, the Freezing Field. Fantastic job there, and knowing that she can actually withstand a couple hits from the Storm. I mean, she's decently tanking, and the Storm has nothing to his name. Look at his farm is actually really low. He's below the Darkseer. He's actually rivaling the Monkey King is rivaling him, I suppose, in terms of farm, which is deplorable, frankly. If you're the guys at Mongolz. Sorry, the other guys at 4-5 production, because the Storm is not going to have too much relevance. He doesn't get the Bloodstone at some point in the game, and this Bloodstone is being really delayed. He decided to go for Treads, like I said, instead of Arcane Boots. The Arcane Boots are better in the sense that it's a much safer build-up because you already have that energy booster, and this is just a waste of 900 gold essentially, because you want to go for travels afterwards. Well, that's beyond the point. I'm not a big fan of the Treads on the Storm unless you're going to fight early. And he has been fighting already, but he has not been fighting successfully. And it's only delayed his Bloodstone considerably. And without the Bloodstone, every single death that happens onto you, because of your large amount of experience gain, is quite important. If you look at the levels, honestly, the Storm has been under-leveled, under-farmed, but usually a Storm would suffer much more from a lack of Bloodstone. Okay, and he can't even go. He can't even go onto this Monkey King and kill him off the ball lightning because the next assassin could just punish him, and Proxy can just heal up at the shrine and be full, back full to health, back to full health before the next engagement. Juggernaut even comes in, wants to use a shrine. Proxy healing up just in the tree. That's interesting. The Vanguard into this Dark Sphere. Are we gonna see Echo Saber? No, probably the Crimson Guard. It's really useful against the Exorcism Spirits. Should block him. It blocks the Swarm, so it should block the Exorcism Spirits, and it's a ridiculous amount of blocking, obviously, that happens. So Crimson Guard is quite a hard counter to the Death Prophet. The Diffusal Blade now coming out on the Juggernaut himself, very close to the Diffusal Blade Performance style build, which we all know and love. And with it, he's going to be able to really cancel the Life Stealer's attack. If he hits him before the Rage comes out, he can actually prevent the Rage. Oh, beautiful Vacuum plus the Boulder Smash, and actually bring the Juggernaut down in seconds. So he doesn't have time to respond, and the rest of his team just kind of walks around. They were ready to attack, but they couldn't really do much after that initiation. There's the Exorcism, though, to defend this. They really want to commit, and the Rock comes down. Now the Wukong's command. It's the poor Storm Spirit is finding Proxy, but it might not be the best of options, as the Storm is going to go down to the Wukong's command, and Proxy's trying to outrun the Life Stealer, but with the open wounds is so hard. The Shine's been used on him, so he doesn't receive that much damage, and with the Basher, they actually managed to almost get a kill onto this poor Life Stealer. The Crypt Storm doesn't quite catch him, though, and R is trying to follow up, but in the end, the guys at Mongolz will lose 2 for the price of 1. However, that Storm Spirit, not bad of a loss, and that Wukong's command dealt so much damage. Chasing him in the middle of the Wukong's command was lethal, and Death Prophet with a great shine used onto the Monkey King, being able to get him with a solo crest and give him that extra evasion and armor. Well, it helped him so much against the Life Stealer, allowed him to take like 2 or 3 extra hits, and the Wukong's command then lasted longer. The only issue is that the Monkey should not have done like this, because that's an easy escape route. The Monkey King should have rather sacrificed himself, and R could have just come from here, right? And if they go through the high ground to a shrine, you can just TP this way, and then boom, boom, counter kill, counter kill, counter kill. The Monkey King was trying to just play well, you know, whereas you should have understood the consequences of your actions and your positioning. This is something that's like really differentiates what, like tier 1 versus tier 3 teams. or not tier 3, I guess, tier 2.5 or so. It's just the idea that I guess it's the idea that's a very complex thing, you know, the whole positioning thing, and okay, what's going to happen after my team fight. But if you see tier 1 teams, they'll always predict how things are going to go, because it's obvious, right? It's obvious. It's not that hard. You gotta go in the easiest route, and this is actually the hardest route to reach because of the narrowness of this path, meaning that you can body block it if it's easier, and it's actually easier for the support to stop this from happening. So yeah, it was a misplay a bit by the Monkey King. Could have gotten much more kills. Great Wukong's command, and very well positioned there, but obviously it's more of the Monkey King being OP than the Wukong's command being great. Now, having Sovereign on this Life Stealer is interesting, honestly. I'm surprised by this item. I mean, it's like a substitute for Sanjin Yasha, which I don't entirely mind. Because the Sanjin Yasha, though the movement speed is great, with Phase Boots, you're usually fine. You already have the Infest. You're not going to get kited too much in this game, maybe only by the Death Prophet. So, yeah, I understand that Heaven's Halberd, the evasion is going to work against the Wukong's command as well, so you're not going to get stunned as much. It's not going to work against Death Prophet Spirits, but you're not going to get stunned by the statues, so that's a big plus, actually. Considering that, well, no, the whole Basher is an annoyance from that Monkey King. It does seem, though, that the guys from Mongolz are going to be taking down this tower in the top lane. They have an Exorcism ready, so they could actually go for tier 3s, and the fact that they're not using the Exorcism makes me think that they want to go for tier 3s, or at least for a team fight soon enough. Because otherwise you just use Exorcism, take this tower quickly, and just leave, but that's not good. That's not the case. They're fighting against Spectral Protection, but the creeps are very close. It's going to be dispelled easily. It's a tier 2 down. And the Storm is itching for a team fight with that Ball Lightning plus Life Stealer combo. Monkey King, meanwhile, is coming from behind. That's a wasted infest, so no more bombs. We haven't seen a single powerful bomb in this game. And okay, they just saved their Exorcism because they really rely on it as a hero or as a spell. Maybe they're just waiting for the Octarine Core to get this ultimate value out of the Exorcism. Don't know. That was a weird idea. Save it then. Don't disagree though. Don't disagree with that, with the saving the Exorcism, because you can still use it now to take this tier 2, for example, if you wanted to, which is a bit more contested. You can see the Storm Spirit is ball lining in and out. And you also know, I don't know if they know that there's no infest, because he did infest outside. So they might be a bit wary about the storm coming in, because they shouldn't have seen that infest. And not even the Monkey King could have seen that. The storm finally grabs his Bloodstone, but it's 25 minutes in. It's a very late Bloodstone. You're expected 15 minutes in. From 15 to 17 it's okay, or it's good. From 17 to 20 is acceptable. 20 and onwards is bad. But obviously you still have to get it. You know, just really late. 458 catches out Death Prophet. Oh, the Boulder Smash was vacuum combo. That was really powerful. The rock on top of that. They actually waste stages immediately, but the Wukong's command comes a bit too late, and R is being flown about. Wants to kill the Storm immediately. He silences him out and destroys him eventually. The Omnisage comes out, but it's between many creeps, and Korgel with the target of aggression, killing him with a Diffusal Blade, now also destroying the Earth Spirit. The two supports are done for the 458 team, and the Vietnamese guys, you want to keep defending this tower, trying to kill Sanke. In comes the Storm, the Electric Vortex, they catch him out. Sanke could be going down, but the Boundless Strike stops him from killing him. And the poor Storm will have to sacrifice himself with the Bloodstone. In comes the Monkey King again, though. Beautiful usage of that Primal Spring to just deal a bit of extra damage and to slow down the enemy team, making it so it's harder to attack him. The healing ward is not available, but they do have the help from the Urn charges from this Crystal Maiden, allowing the Juggernaut to stay in this lane a bit longer, and the Storm will have to come back. He already died twice in this team fight, essentially losing a lot of Bloodstone charges, and the Crystal Maiden now being targeted as the target of aggression. It's gonna be fun. What I did love there was the Force Staff, which now I know is the Crystal Maiden's Force Staff, to save the Death Prophet from the Lifestealer's attack. That was fantastic, actually. Death Prophet was being targeted constantly around the Wukong's command, and you Force Staff her away, making sure that she is anything, at least, you know, kiting the Lifestealer. And even though the Lifestealer did not die in that engagement, because he's actually quite tanky with the Heaven's Halberd and with the Armlet and whatnot, they did kill the Storm twice and delayed or completely destroyed the effect of a Bloodstone that he just got. They even forced him to use a Suicide, meaning that he can't actually play that aggressively anymore because he won't be able to commit suicide. And okay, Sanjay and Yasha apparently for this Monkey King. I do not like this item. If you want to go for damage, Echo Saber, or you want to go for carry Monkey King, Echo Saber is the better item. If you want to go for the kind of, you know, Wukong's command Monkey King, where you just get a bunch of effects, it's much better to get something along the lines of Maelstrom or along the lines of an Abyssal, because it just be effective. The Yasha does not help you whatsoever. I mean, even a Heaven's Halberd would be better if you're gonna go for support Monkey King. So, not a good pick. I can objectively tell you guys it's not a good pick. There. And nope. Crystal Maiden. Magnetize. 5 seconds. 4, 3. Oh, 4 stuff away. It should be fine. No, the Magnetize has been restarted. She's dead. The Magnetize plus the Urn should kill her. And you should be able to last this. I mean, the Magic Stick has been doing a lot, but that Crystal Maiden survived for a surprising amount of time, considering you're a Crystal Maiden. It was easy to kill her, but in the end, they do get a lot of time out of that, so it's not too bad entirely. I think she did put down, was warding. Yeah, she put down an aggressive ward here, which is nice. Oh, Omnisage comes out, kills the Earth Spirit, even attacks the Lifestealer a bit just to harass him. There's a Blade Fury making sure that he can't be stopped by the Storm. In comes the next assassin. Only stuns the Lifestealer, but they can start killing the Storm. He's out of mana. The rock comes out. It barely grazes the Juggernaut, but it's enough as they catch him out with the Electric Vortex. In comes the Exorcism, and Sanke is just being stopped by the Storm. They stop the Wukong's command as well. The Exorcism from the Death Prophet will not do much. She has to use it for herself. The Impale comes out and does catch the Lifestealer, and R is healing herself up to full health, sucking off 2 dudes at the same time. What an insane ability by this woman. Why aren't you in Thailand? Has to use the Yule Scepter, but the Electric Vortex casts her out too quickly. Has to Yule Scepter herself up. The Impale plus the Mana Vortex or the Mana Burn will kill off the Storm, and R keeps on fighting. This tanky woman is a force to be reckoned with. She silenced the Lifestealer. He can't rage up, and those spirits are hitting him so much, almost destroying the Golem as well. The Impale catches out the Warlock, and they want to kill off Lifestealer. He uses Armlet though, and he's going to toggle himself back to safety. However, R is more than happy to fight this as he kills off the Lifestealer and continues to fight the rest of this team fight. There's Artiuka joining in her carry. The Crystal Nova hits too, but it might be Crystal Maiden who goes down though. The Yule Scepter will only give her a couple more seconds. Doctoring Core does not give you that much healing anymore. However, the Crystal Maiden will allow herself to get one last kill onto the Earth Spirit before she dies. That's going to be another kill for Tengu. What a great team fight by the Death Prophet, by the Nyx Assassin. That was fantastic, honestly. That was, I mean, just lasted for so long. It was super tanky Death Prophet, allowing yourself to not only kite the Lifestealer for an immense amount of time, but also survive all the Storm damage, using that Octarine Core very well. If it wasn't because the Monkey King and the Juggernaut got destroyed so early in the team fight, that would have been a one team fight easily for Mongolz. And comes Monkey King with a 3 dance, a Boundless Strike, just to hit that Dark Sphere. The worst part is that it doesn't even combine well. It doesn't combine well with neither your Wukong's Command, neither your Boundless Strike, the two abilities you want to get items for. You know, that's my problem here. You want to get items for those two abilities because they're so good, and Sanjin Yasha is not great for those. Heaven's Halberd is better. If you want to go for the main. If the main is really that much of a concern to you, or it's that good, you think it's that great of an ability, get a Sanjin, and then turn it into a Heaven's Halberd. Not a Sanjin Yasha. Especially this late into the game, because you're a support, after all. You're not a carry. You're not a snowball carry. Oh, this is much better. Oh, no. He's still going for Sanjin Yasha. I like the Desolator build, though. Desolator is also really good with Boundless Strike, because you actually start out with a physical attack of an insane amount of damage, because Desolator is one of the few items that still gives you just base damage. In a ridiculous amount, I think it's 50. Which is actually quite a lot, if you think about it. And obviously, again, the minus armor is fantastic, because you increase the damage of your whole team. And that means as well that if people find the Wukong's Command is not only dangerous because the bashes are going to come out, but also because you're going to lose a lot of armor and not be as powerful. And well, you'll be surprised how easily you go down with Desolator effect onto you. No, pushing. They want to check out there's a Nyx Assassin around. There's not. Exorcism has already been used. That Nyx Assassin missing the Impale. Wukong's Command catching out nobody just yet. The one to stun the lifesteal. That's the wasted ultimate. This is not the time to fight. This is not the time to fight. This is time to retreat. They wasted Exorcism, they wasted Wukong's Command. That is not good, guys. They're going to really hate themselves for that. They still have Freezing Field as one last zoning out effect, which is true. No, it comes the Juggernaut with the Blade Fury, touching his tower, and even uses the illusions for that. Lifestealer was forced to use Rage there, so they could maybe punish that. Exorcism is going to heal the left buff in no time, so there's no way they're going to kill her in this time. Oh, starts healing up. They were waiting for that. The Rock actually catches her out. The Upheaval also slowing her down. Boundless Strike, though, stops the Lifestealer in his tracks, but in comes the Storm, catches the Ghost Woman, and they'll be able to kill her off in a couple seconds. Nope, never mind. The Spirit Siphon is starting to come out, and that Spirit Siphon makes it impossible for you to kill the Death Prophet. Now comes the Rolling Boulder. Masquerade just ends up stunning this poor Spirit, who's sent himself to his own grave. As the Freezing Field will finish him off. If you still play to catch out Korgil, they want to kill off this annoying Warlock. The Almond Slash is very unlucky, and it ends up bouncing to a bunch of creeps. In fact, it bounces to the last creep first, so then it bounces forward afterwards. It didn't work out. And oh, Masquerade, careful. He's being targeted by the Lifestealer, but he's not going to go down. Thanks for that great use of Spike Carpus. Beautiful Boundless Strike, though. In comes the Juggernaut. Wants to keep on fighting. He has the Mana Style still available, and they want to kill the Storm. He's going to commit suicide in the end. Another suicide with the Storm. Not what they were looking for before they kill the Warlock, though. And the Diffusal Blade to stop the Lifestealer before he can do much more. He doesn't have mana for Rage, so he actually can't stop us. They silence his Rage away. He can only Armlet toggle now, and they get a bash into the Storm, who's lost all his mana and now lost all of his HP. He is going to go down. The Dark Seal will be the next victim for this Juggernaut as they now go into LFT. They cuts on the tree. That's a 4-second stun into this poor Monkey King, but Monkey King is somehow going to survive. Jingo Mastery plus the usage of the Boundless Strike is going to stun out the Dark Seal, who's still not dying. The Impale, though, catches out the Lifestealer, who's trying to walk away from this team fight and won't be able to, as LFT has to man fight the Juggernaut even though he didn't want to. And with one last Diffusal charge, they'll get the last kill for the team wipe. Mongolz getting a team wipe without losing a single character, and now being able to take on a set of racks and perhaps even get this 2-0, because this is one set of racks, two sets of racks easily, the mid and the top racks, and this bottom lane is also being pushed considerably by this lane of creeps. Even comes to the catapult, so they might be lucky enough that this lane of creeps is able to push this tier 2 fast enough so that they can actually start pushing the tier 3s. Or at least someone just TP there. I don't know. It's really exciting. Mongolz is doing it right now. They're taking the racks. The melee racks are about to go down against these Exorcism Spirits. And all they have to do is rotate that bottom and take this tier 3. Or alternatively, take the Roshan as last objective. And that would... Or this tier 2, sorry. Or alternatively, they could just take the Roshan as last objective. And that's exactly what they were going to be doing right now. Because you have a Juggernaut with an immense amount of damage. He's going for Scotty. He's already lost all his diffusal charges. So it's important that he gets a level 2 diffusal blade. So... So it's good that he's getting the extra money from Roshan, extra money from the tower, so they can just waste a bit of money on that, or a bit of gold on that Diffusal Blade extra charge. That's really good, actually. It's really well played by the guys at Mongolz. Especially, I would actually give it to Masquerade. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Masquerade. I've been watching Mongolz for a while, and I love... I mean, Sanke and Masquerade are the names that stand out for Mongolz, in my mind. Sanke has not been playing too well with the Juggernaut. Last game with his Spectre was much better. Proxy has been fantastic with his Monkey King, but this Nyx Assassin probably deserves the most praise with this build that is actually really uncommon. Well, Midas on the Nyx Assassin, going full on for the Blink Dagger, full on for the Yule Scepter, and it being a not even Force Staff, hell, not even Agatives. He's just going straight up as a support as a team fighter, you know, as a utility guy, and he's working wonders with that utility. He's getting Scotty for Juggernaut, Sanyasha for Monkey King. That's nice. I mean, not the Sanyasha, but those impales have been great. They've been stopping the lifestealer constantly with those impales. As soon as his rage goes down, he mana burns him, impale, mana burns, impale, and it's been a couple times that we've seen the lifestealer without enough mana to actually execute his rage, which is fantastic. You know, I mean, those silences plus the lack of mana, it just hurts him so much because you delay the rage by so much by, you know, forcing him. You delay the rage by a lot by you know, putting him at that threshold where it's like 65, 60, or 70 mana. Lifestealer's mana regen is not too great, so you actually punish him really hard with that. And then, if you think he's going to come back or he's going to get enough mana by using a Mango or an Alacrity, boom, silence, and you've prevented the rage forever. And it's fantastic. I mean, look at this. The Storm is forced to go for a Yule Scepter, which hasn't gone yet, with 2 charges in his Bloodstone. Not only for the mana regen that the Yule Scepter gives, which is actually very important this game, because he's been sucking, but also because he has to take the silence off. But that's a super late Yule Scepter. Obviously, he didn't want to buy it now. He had to, because he has no Bloodstone charges. Alternatively, you want to buy BKB at this point in the game. It's much better to take off silences, but not, as you can see, if you have no mana regen whatsoever, because you can barely zip around the team fight, especially when you're fighting against a Diffusal Blade user. And the Exorcism is not going to start pushing this tower. Great silence. Have to use it for himself away. LFT, though, be hurt by the exorcism damage, and the Omnitouch already came out. They're going to take out the backlines, and they're still able to bring down Pushin. In comes 458, but stuck by the Boundless Strike. One last hit by Proxy will do the trick, and they will finish up the Storm one last time. 60 seconds without him. The Warlock will also go down, and in comes Wukong's command. They're actually going to finish off the Monkey King in time, but LFT is now fighting against the Nyx Assassin, destroying this nuisance, as the Death Prime has been left here alone together with Sanke. Sanke is ready to fight, though, and he says, what is a Lifestealer if I have Scotty? He's going for the Darkseer. The wrong target, my friend, as the Lifestealer is dealing much more damage. The Nyx Assassin is more to buy back, and R is now tanking all of the damage to the enemy team. In comes the Crystal Maiden. She was incognito the whole time, was not killed just yet. R is forced to Yule Scepter himself back up, and Sanke will lose the Aegis in this engagement, as R is now forced to forced to back out. Beautiful impale onto all of them. They're gonna kill the Lifestealer now. No, the LFT with the Armor Toggle should survive a couple more seconds, but the Juggernaut is just chasing him down to the ends of Earth, and he won't be able to outrun a Juggernaut with a Diffusal Blade. Now going to the Darkseer. He's barely dealing any damage because the Darkseer has no mana, but the Shivas comes out, and that's gonna start dealing the damage from R as well. Lifestealer was forced to use his buyback. He wants to defend this. The rolling boulders available, so they can actually just go onto R. There's a Lifestealer coming back in. The silence will prevent any sort of stuns. And Masquerade with only a single stun into the Earth Spirit. That was not what they were looking for. The Storm even joins in with Electric Vortex to catch out the Juggernaut, but the Juggernaut's not dead just yet. He has the Manta style available, and he can still run out. There's the courier. No, the Force Staff from the Crystal Maiden has been blocked by the vacuum, and both of them are going to die. A fantastic 5-man impale, which comes just a bit late to save the Juggernaut, but might still be able to save this Crystal Maiden's life. The rolling boulders will catch her out. She's trying to heal back up. The Boulder Smash will catch her. The Yo-Yo of Death, and now the Lifestealer with the Jaws of Death to finish off this last support. 458 are able to defend this lane of Rax against the odds. You know, they did it. They actually did it. They lost the Storm super early, but the Lifestealer just manned up, carried the team on his back, and him and the Darkseer were fantastic in that engagement. Wow, that actually tired me. Usually I don't get tired. That was a ridiculous team fight. Now, with this, Proxy does have a Desolator, though. And killing the Monkey King early there was really crucial to their victory, honestly. Killing the Monkey King and the Nyx Assassin, forcing the buyback on the Nyx Assassin. We see how powerful the Nyx is. And, oh no, Nyx has been caught out. That's a Yule Scepter, though. You did not want to Yule Scepter yourself. Yeah, that was not the play. That was certainly not the play. You want to just impale. As soon as you weren't stunned anymore, you want to just impale. Or even better, Yule Scepter someone else. You didn't want to use something yourself. There was no way you're going to survive the attack from the Earth Spirit that's still on the enemy team. So, that was unfortunate. Next Assassin with the Tome of Experience. I'm trying to get that level 20. Very important, actually, to get the 120 gold per minute. I would be surprised if he went for the agility. More than surprised. If 458 managed to come back, I mean, this would be insane. This would be an insane comeback by the Vietnamese team. I mean, it would just show that forever, obviously, Vietnam is better than Mongolia. Okay. Obviously, has nothing to do with that. Dota does not determine the value of a country. Now, Storm Spirit is residing in the trees, getting some visual static remnants. He has 5 charges. Plus, Storm Spirit is a support at this point. I mean, the Monkey King has beaten him in terms of farm. It's really hard to take this with take this tower with a freezing field and a Wukong's command still available. Oh, the Blink Dagger, really good for the Crystal Maiden, preventing the Rolling Boulder initiation there. But they are fighting with a Rock as well from the Warlock. Those golems are very important. Oh, the silence misses, so it's time to go in. They stop Rock, so they don't break the tree, meaning that he doesn't get stunned for 4 seconds. However, they're going to kill him off before he can use the Wukong's command. That's the goal anyway. Proxy can go down first, and that was a fantastic initiation. The Impale, though, catches out the poor Storm Spirit, and he's going to die first. Has the Freezing Field, dealing a lot of damage. Jones has time coming out as well. The Lifesteal has been silenced, so he can't rage himself up, and the Frostbite will catch him. He can't rage because he lost all his mana, and that beautiful silence stopped his Lifesteal completely as they now kill the Warlock. The Storm is now left to his own devices. Another two-man Impale. This Nyx Assassin is out of his mind. Masquerade getting another kill on this Darkseer and onto this Storm Spirit. And with that, Mongolz will get game number 2 as 458 call the GG, say please just ban the Nyx. Just destroy. They must hate the Nyx Assassin. They go around and just spray the whole flat, making sure that there's no bugs around, because that Nyx Assassin completely obliterated them. And after that game, guys, I'm going to have to say goodbye. That was a fantastic game by Mongolz. They really deserve the victory there. A constant back and forth between both teams, but it was really Mongolz who brought it back. Thanks to the Nyx Assassin, honestly, and some great plays by Death Prophet and Juggernaut, but mainly Masquerade. Congratulations, Mongolz. They win 2-0, this best of 2. Seems like nobody can tie in these best of 2s. If you win the first one, you're going to win the second one. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more SCA Dota. And for those of you interested in some more Pro Dota Cup, I'll show you the matches that are up tonight. There it is. And we have Underdogs versus Chip +4 in 2 hours. And we have Spotnet versus Slice and Dice in 5 hours and 30 minutes. All casted by Joe DX. So feel free to check them out. And I'll see you guys next time with some more Dota 2. If you did enjoy my cast, by the way, my name's been DSwordfish. Follow me on Twitter at DSwordfish. I'll put my link in the description. And I'll see you guys next time with some more Dota 2.